So I got asked the other day, what's the weirdest horror movie you've ever seen? And I didn't have a good answer because I watch a lot of weird niche stuff to try and uncover hidden gems for you guys on this channel, right? And I realized that I didn't really have a place for movies that I didn't know how I felt about them because they're too strange. Like the premises are too weird. They're hard to sell. Now, this list, now I do have a place for them, all right? This list is for the fucking weirdos. It's for the sickos. It's for people that really like Cuckoo Bananas movies. Some of these movies are so bad they're good. Some of these movies are fucking brilliant, but just flat out strange. So grab some beers, maybe something mind-altering, and get ready as I'm going to give you the top 10 weirdest horror movies I've ever seen in the many, many hundreds of horror movies I've watched for this channel. Let me know if you've seen any of these. Let me know if you have some that you think should have been on this list, and maybe I'll get to them next time I'm feeling fucking froggy. If you don't want to watch these movies, but one piques your interest a little bit, just go watch the trailer. I've gone back and watched the trailers for all these movies, and they all capture the vibe of the movie. So that is fucking great. Let's fucking get into it. I had to put Houseu on here. This is probably the most famous weird horror on this list. This was recommended to me years ago by a uni friend named Tristan, who I haven't spoken to in about a decade. So Tristan, hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for this one. Houseu, or House in English, it has everything. It has a flying decapitated head. It has an evil spewing cat. It has a haunted house. It has one of the most insane intros to any horror film ever. The start of this movie, it looks like it was taken from like an 80s sitcom. You know, the ones where they're all like they're playing happy music and they're like, Jeremy. Like, it's that sort of shit, right? That's how this movie starts. The plot is almost imperceivable, but it's about a schoolgirl named Gorgeous. Yes, that is her name. Her name is Gorgeous. And she's really pissed at her dad because he has remarried. She writes her like estranged aunt and is like, I fucking hate this place. I want to come live with you. And she says, sure. And as you do, she invites her 6 closest friends to come with her. And they go onto a journey into the mountains of Japan to live at this weird estranged auntie's house. This movie is fucking batshit. It feels like it was written by a child. And that's because it kind of was, right? The director, Nobuyuko Obayashi, created this movie using ideas thought up by his 10-year-old daughter, which I think is fucking dope. That's so sick. But when you watch this movie, you're like, yeah, this is something a 10-year-old would write. If you've got kids, you know how crazy they can get, how crazy their imagination is. This movie is fucking wild. Even better, the thing I really love about this movie, because I actually do love this movie, and lots of film buffs actually like this movie. I think it's Quentin Tarantino's one of his favorites. I know Jack Quaid's a big fan. But this movie was a box office hit in Japan when it was released. It's become cult status over here, like in the Western world. But when it was released, they loved it. They were like, yeah, this is a fucking great film. And I love that so much. I fucking love Japan. Never change. Houseu is absolutely wild and it's pretty accessible. Go see it. Rubber. Now, this movie probably has the craziest premise on this list. This movie is about a killer tire. I'm like a car tire. Yes, I'm dead serious. It's about a murderous car tire called Robert who becomes sentient one day. And he has these insane psychokinetic powers and uses them to cause absolute mayhem in rural California. The reason this movie works, or that it's not just complete slop that you shouldn't watch, is because this movie knows it's fucking silly, but it's decided to go about it completely seriously. Like, the cops in this movie are actually trying to solve the case. They are actually looking for a killer tire. They're trying to do good cop work, and it's fucking strange to watch. The tire itself, Robert, he's on a journey of self-discovery and also a murder spree. Like, it's a really weird mix of genres, this film. And it sounds so fucking stupid talking about this film, but Robert is he has character. It's a fucking tire. I'm talking like a Goodyear tire. It's just a tire. But he has character. He has this weird small child animal-like quality to him that makes this movie engaging to watch. And it's engaging and it's fucking strange, and that is why it had to be on this list. 2010's Rubber. It's a fucking weird movie. If you like animated stuff like Mr. Pickles or BoJack Horseman or The Big Les Show or any of the cruder Adult Swim stuff, you should see this movie. This popped up on Prime Video this year for me, and I was mixed on it because you can tell in terms of budget they had about 2 pennies to rub together. Like, the animation's quite crude and stuff, but it gave me the same feeling I got when in the early 2000s I would log on to something like Miniclip or Newgrounds and spend an afternoon watching just weird, fucked up shit. You know, stuff like Salad Fingers or Ed's World or Charlie the Unicorn. This is in the same vein as all of those, but with more South Park style humor. It's about a rat poison COVID cure basically turns an entire shopping mall into zombies. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. It's got mariachi music. It's got racist zombies. It's got like 100 clever shopping store puns. But if you want to turn your brain off and harken back to those days, just get fucking blitzed and watch the weirdest, crudest shit, you should see Apocalypse, because it's highly accessible. It's on Amazon Prime and it's recent this year. It's fucking weird. It's just a weird fucking movie. But as someone who grew up in that early internet time, I was like, fuck, I remember I would have loved this in high school. It's that sort of vibe. I fucking love Mad God. Mad God is a stop motion masterpiece by Phil Tippett of Jurassic Park and Star Wars visual effects fame. It took him 30 years to make. It's supremely engaging. It is mind-bendingly disturbing, and it's a fucking nightmare to watch. It is a nightmare to watch. If hell exists, this is the closest thing I have ever seen to it, right? This has to be the closest thing. It is so alien and so weird. Everything in this movie oozes, drips, shits, comes, and then kills something else violently, right? Like, the monsters and beans in this movie are some of the most disgusting things that have ever been put to screen, and they're just brilliant. This movie could have only come from Phil Tippett, right? He is a legend of stop motion, and this is one of the greatest stop motion achievements of all time. It's not the easiest watch, but it's probably one of the greatest stop motion animation films ever. It follows a character called the Assassin who has to travel onto this weird, fucked up, war-torn planet to do fuck knows what. You don't really know what he's doing. There is no dialogue in this movie. You have to just watch this character traverse through the world and sort of work out why he's doing it and try to anticipate what he's doing. There's a weird amount of empathy in this film. Like, everything in this movie is horrendous. It is just nightmare fever dream after nightmare fever dream sequence. But there is a lot of humanity in it. If you have a strong mind and a strong stomach and want some full-on acid trip weirdness, Mad God is your pick of the list. It's just a masterpiece of disturbing stop motion madness. It's fucking crazy. There is a scene involving a character called the Alchemist that made me so sad, and it was so disturbing and distressed me so much. Like, the sound design in this movie is so good. It's not an easy watch, but fuck me, this is one of the best things that's ever happened to stop motion. It's fucking mental. Go watch Mad God. This is a 2006 comedy film from New Zealand, and it's fucking weird. It's about a man named Henry who, after a traumatic experience as a kid with his pet sheep, now has a crippling phobia of them, right? He has to travel back to his family farm because his dad's dies, and he wants to sell his share of the farm to his shitty brother Angus. Little does he know that Angus has been dabbling in the old mad science and has unknowingly created these monstrous, ravenous, zombie-like sheep. It's like 28 Days Later, but with sheep, right? That is what this movie is. It's fucking silly, it's funny, it's downright horrific in parts, but it balances comedy and horror beautifully in a way that New Zealand's horror seems to do really well. This movie is so stupid, but I have a soft spot for it because I used to rent the fuck out of it at Video Easy. This was on repeat. I watched the hell out of this movie when I was a kid. This movie is so crazy. I watched the shit out of it. But it doesn't get talked about enough, and it's so weird. I think the guy who made it only made one film, and it was this one. It's such a weird film. There's like some really gross body horror in it. Black Sheep is just... It's just odd, and it's really earned its spot on this list. So The Cat is The Ring, but instead of a cursed videotape, it's about cursed adoption of cats. Yes, you heard that correctly. 2011's The Cat. It's a Korean horror film where a pet groomer with severe claustrophobia, she basically gets given a cat because the owner dies in like a freak accident. When the police start investigating the murder, they quickly find out that the owner has been part of a long string of murders where the only thing that all of them have in common is that they all recently adopted cats. That's the premise, right? Now, the reason I like this movie and the reason it's great is because it's taken so seriously, right? This is such a silly premise for a film. It's The Ring, but cats, right? But the director, Seong-wook Byeon, was like, nah, man, we're going to shoot this like it's fucking Seven. They take this so seriously, this movie, even though it's such a silly premise, and I appreciate the fuck out of that, man. I appreciate the fuck out of it. Is it amazing? No. Does it have some genuinely unsettling parts in it? Yes. Is it worth watching so that you can say that you watched the weird cursed cat movie? Abso-fucking-lutely. Hell yes, Korea. If you're a cat lover and you want to watch some weird fucking horror movie, this is the one. This is hell yeah, Korea. This is bonkers, this one. This is the best movie on this list. For me, this is my favorite movie on this list. This is a 10 out of 10 for me, and I'm not the only one who thinks so, right? The caveat with this J-horror movie, though, is that you have to give it at least 40 minutes, right? If you bail before then, you will not understand why I think this movie is as great as it is. I can't tell you how many reviews I've seen of this movie that are along the lines of, this movie's so fucking terrible, I don't know why people like it. I bailed about 15 to 20 minutes in, I had to turn it off. Yeah, dude, you would think it's terrible because you missed the movie. This movie is a joy that reveals itself over time. My girlfriend doesn't like horror, and when I was watching the first part of this movie, she walked past and she was like, what slop are you watching? And to be fair, I was also like, Jesus Christ, why do people think this movie is good? But cut to 40 minutes later, we were both on the couch cheering this movie on. We were fully invested. You have to give it that. If you're not going to give it the 40 minutes, do not watch this movie, right? One Cut of the Dead follows a hack director who mostly makes TV ads. He gets the opportunity of a big payday in making like this low-budget, straight-to-TV zombie movie, and he decides to give it his absolute all. He's like, I'm going to make the best low-budget zombie movie I can make. He's a fucking weird guy, and he's like, I'm going to throw my absolute heart into making this zombie film. The problem occurs, though, when real zombies show up and attack the set, right? It's weird, fucking trust me. Shinichiro Ueda is a genius, as is this movie. I love this movie. It's sweet, it's funny. This movie is a love letter to B-horror movies, and as someone who's watched horror like their entire life and loves B-horror movies, this is it. This is just this. They understand horror. They understand what makes B-horror so good. And it's just a wonderful film. If you can only see one movie from this entire list, please see One Cut of the Dead. It's truly, truly, truly an underrated gem. It's so good. To be fair, I could have made this entire list just weird movies that the Sci-Fi Channel has made, but I've spared you that because I've chosen the dumbest and the weirdest of the bunch, and that is the 2013 film Ghost Shark. This movie follows a shark who, after eating the catch of a sports fisherman, gets captured, tortured, and killed. Unfortunately for the fisherman, that gruesome end to the shark allows it to come back from the grave and enact gruesome, bloody revenge. The main thing I love about this movie is that because it's a ghost and it's also a shark, it can appear anywhere there's water, right? The rules in this movie are so weird and wacky. Like, it can attack you in bathtubs, it can attack you in pools, garden hose, the deck of a boat. Like, wherever there is water, Ghost Shark is lurking. And the thing I like about this movie, because it's not a good movie, but the thing I like about this movie is that they know it's a terrible movie. The people who are in this movie and made this movie are like, this is a shit film. Like, but they just have fun with it. The special effects are so bad. The acting is fucking atrocious. But it understands that it's a terrible movie. By God, this movie is terrible. But if you want to grab some beers and some mates and absolutely lose your mind over how terrible a movie is, this movie is one of those it's so bad it's good movies. You cannot go past Ghost Shark. Lots of people will be like, oh, Sharktopus or Sharknado. Ghost Shark is so much wilder and so much fucking dumber than all those movies. Go see Ghost Shark. If that is up your alley, go see Ghost Shark. Killing of a Sacred Deer is probably the most art house movie on this list. It has huge stars in it, in Nicole Kidman and Colin Farrell and Barry Keogh. And it's directed by Poor Things director Yorgos Lanthimos and The Lobster. It follows a heart surgeon called Stephen Murphy, who has this really weird mentor-like relationship with a 16-year-old kid called Martin, played by Barry Keogh. Stephen's son, Bob, starts to develop this really weird paralysis that seems to be eluding all the doctors in the medical system. And the family start to think that Martin might be involved. And when they confront him, he gives them an impossible choice. That is what this movie is about. It is fantastic. This movie is fantastic. It has really weird dialogue and speech patterns. It's almost like a Clockwork Orange in that sort of vibe. It's really Kubrickian. It's really awkward. It's really cringy, which is what Yorgos does really well. If you've watched The Lobster, you'll know that. The acting is phenomenal. The premise is horrifying. And it's got a scene in it so good that it turned me off eating spaghetti for fucking months. If you want something high quality and higher budget in this list, this is the one. Go see Killing of a Sacred Deer. Last but not least is the 2022 Lovecraftian horror film Glorious, directed by Colours of the Dark podcaster, horror academic, and all-around cool mum Rebecca McKendry. It stars Ryan Kwanten as Wes. He's this depressed loner who, after a traumatic breakup, has decided to go on a road trip. He hits the bottle pretty hard and has to stop at like a public restroom. When he goes in there, however, he realizes that he's been trapped by a mysterious entity who is living in one of the stalls, and that entity has an offer for Wes. He can only communicate to this thing through the glory hole in the stall, and what he sees in that glory hole are horrors beyond his comprehension in true Lovecraftian style. This movie is really funny. The biggest stroke of genius in this movie is that they had J.K. Simmons do the voice of the entity, and his voice is perfect because it can be calm and reassuring and very matter of fact. He can also be the scariest motherfucker in the room. If you've seen Whiplash, you know that. This movie is funny, it's gross, it's hilarious. It's also one of the best Lovecraftian horrors to come out in the last 10 years. I really like this movie. It is the definition of a hidden gem, and it's on Shudder right now. So if you like horror comedies, see Glorious. If you love Lovecraft movies, see Glorious. It's fucking great. But that's it. That is the top 10 weirdest shit I have seen in covering movies for this channel for you guys. These are the movies that I have put myself through. I will say I did love a lot of these fucking movies. Some of them are just batshit. If you have your own that you're like, hey man, if you like this, you got to see this, send them my way. I'll always try to watch some weird shit, all right? I don't mind a movie that's so bad it's good or has a strange premise like Rubber or The Cat, right? They're just fucking weird premises. If you told me like, hey, there's a movie about a cat that curses people, I'm like, yeah, fucking in. So let me know if you've got any one of them. Other than that, hopefully I'll see you next week for another review. Peace.